Oh wow.
We have just hit a new low. What's going on, guys? Ken here today. It is the 29th of June and currently it is 9:45. We've just woken up past half an hour and I look like shit at the moment, so I'll be back in a few seconds. And we're back. So this is actually the lowest weight I've ever been during the week. Most of the time my weight actually goes up and down during the week, and then during the weekends when I take my break, it normally just settles down. The lowest I've been is 174.5, and at that point I was thinking to myself, I'm losing the weight too quick, and obviously when you're natural you don't want to do that because you're going to lose muscle, and so I've had a bit of a refeed. But as you can tell by the video and the title, guys, we are doing what I eat in a day 13 weeks out from show. And yes, we are now 13 weeks out from show. It's getting closer and closer. The weeks just seem to disappear each time, but I'm feeling good about this year. I'm feeling really good. Without further ado, let's get into this video. So for breakfast, I normally have three options. One is cream of rice, the other one is porridge, and the other one is French toast. Now I've worked out all the macros that each one is very similar in calories. And because of this gives me a wider option and I don't feel like I'm just eating the same thing day in and day out. But the main thing that I do eat normally is French toast. Now I do have a bit of honey over it on the top and a side of peanut butter. So let's make it.
Something on my mind and it keeps hurting me. You've been treating me like I have been your enemy. You are something I don't want to have. A million problems inside of my head. This is something I cannot forget. Another one. You're a needle in my.
So another thing that we do normally when we're having our breakfast is we normally are making our drinks for lunch. Now the drink that I normally make for my lunch is basically my 10 greens, which is the bulk that I eat. Greens, which is right here. And I also put my creatine and my black ginger in it. The reasons why I do this is mainly because I go to the gym probably about an hour and a half later after lunch. So like I said before, we also have peanut butter with our French toast, and I do this with all my meals. I don't actually put the peanut butter on the meal, I just have it on the spoon. I just like it like that. So as you see, I normally have 30 grams of peanut butter. Now we are 31 grams here, but look, 1 gram ain't gonna ruin your whole diet. It's actually the one thing I do see quite a lot of people do. They get too exact on the weighing scales, which is good, but at the same time it can turn into something mental, which is just not good. We don't want that. If you get too desired on the numbers on the weighing scale, it's just not going to be fun anymore. So having it 1 or 2 or 3 grams over or below, it's not going to ruin your diet. So the ingredients for this meal is 30 grams of peanut butter on the spoon, 3 slices of brown bread. Now I normally have brown bread, but today I'm having white bread because I've run out of brown bread, 4 whole eggs, a dash of protein milk, and 15 grams of honey drizzled on top of the French toast. So I'm gonna say this meal is probably around 750 calories. So I'm going to enjoy this food now and I'll be back soon. Alright guys, we've just finished our breakfast and I thought why not mix our full day of eating with a bit of a Q&A as well. So I've asked a few weeks ago for you guys to send in questions and I've just got them all there, so I'm going to answer a few of them after every meal. Also, the macros for my breakfast, which was the French toast this time, which was 728 calories, 67 grams of carbs, 35 grams of protein, and 31 grams of fat. I always try to have a heavier breakfast, I suppose, just to wake me up and get me throughout the day. But to the Q&A. So the first question was, what got you to start at the gym? I started the gym, I've always wanted to go to the gym, but at the time when I was younger, didn't have the motivation, I wasn't in the right, I suppose, headspace, and I just didn't know what I actually wanted. Plus I didn't know what I was doing in the gym. So I did try to go when I was younger. I think it was like 16, 17. I tried it for like 2 weeks and I didn't know what I was doing and just got bored of it really quickly. Like, I didn't see the results, and obviously when you're at that age, you see all these people on the likes of Instagram getting bigger and bigger and bigger. Obviously back then you're a bit naive, you don't realize they're actually on, those people are on steroids. You know, what got me into the gym was basically someone saying to me that I looked small. I thought I would have been different, was gotten bigger, you know, and that sort of hit a flashback, I suppose, over the years of being told this. You know, I remember people who were able to grab around my wrist and put their like pinky and the thumb like that around my wrist. My wrists were tiny. It was just bone. That really got under my skin. And there was just a few other things, you know, I was always called a stick. Certain things just really built up. And that one day, that one person said, you know, you still are the same size. That just hit all those memories back. So that's how I started the gym. What is the difference between the classic men's physique and open men's physique? Well, I never knew there was a classic men's physique, but if you're talking about classic physique versus open men's physique, then I can tell you the difference. Like, the difference between classic physique and men's physique is basically, classic physique is the old style of bodybuilding, the likes of Lita Brada, Arnie, that sort of era. Now you're still going to do the same poses as what they do in open bodybuilding, but it's more of the old style. You know, you're able to do vacuums, you're able to do certain different poses. Instead of the most muscular, you're doing the most aesthetic, most classic pose. That would be classic physique. And then men's physique is basically where you're wearing the shorts, the board shorts, so you're sort of hiding or hamstringing your quads. It's more, I call it more like a beach body sort of competition. That's why I call it, sort of. Yeah, men's physique is a separate category to bodybuilding, and classic physique is a part of the bodybuilding category, so that'd be the difference. All right guys, I'm gonna do some work, probably gonna be making more workout programs for you guys. Link is in bio. So until then, I will see you for lunch. All right, so we're now moving on to our lunch. Now I only have one thing for lunch, and it's the one thing I've had ever since I started doing the gym, and it's probably the nicest thing, and it is turkey and basmati rice. I've tried other rices. I've tried the long grain rice, brown rice. Just, they aren't the same as basmati rice. The only thing that comes close to it is probably jasmine rice. But look, it is what it is, so let's start cooking. So at the moment, since we're only 13 weeks out, we are putting seasoning still on our food at the moment. So we do have salt, pepper, and paprika. Those are the only 2 or 3 things that I would personally put on the turkey, and that's really it. Obviously, as we get closer to show that lessens and we actually do remove the pepper, paprika, and salt only a few weeks out from show. So as I said, in the morning I do have my greens, my creatine, and my black ginger during lunchtime. And the reason why I do this is because normally I go to the gym about an hour and a half after having my lunch. Bear in mind, this is not the tastiest thing, it's not nice at all, the drink, but it helps quite a lot. Cheers. So while that's cooking, I might as well answer some other questions. So do I plan on taking gear in the future? Do you know, I think everyone has actually had that thought of what they would look like on gear. Everyone's had it, I've had that thought. But at the same time, do you know, there's a lot of issues with it. Obviously, do you know, with it can damage your organs, you know, it fucks up your hormones. Like, it's just, to me, it's not really worth it. And don't get me wrong, looking bigger, obviously I want to get bigger and bigger and bigger, but obviously, you know, my health comes first. and that's just the main thing. I don't want to jeopardize that whatsoever. Plus you can become a pro bodybuilder naturally as well, so there's that as well. How do I get abs? I get this question quite a lot. Getting your abs, so you can work out your abs like 3-4 times a week, but the main way to get and to see your abs realistically is by just leaning down, I suppose. Yeah, you just have to lean down, because realistically it's all down to your body fat. You know, the lower body fat you have, the more visible your abs are going to be. I think it's around 15% that your abs actually start showing out. So like for me personally, I was seeing my abs at 17-18%, but that was the only top two. When I hit 15 I could see 4, and then I was probably like 10% when I could see my whole six pack. But this was last year. This year it's completely different, because since my whole body has just changed, I'm able to see my full six pack at 15% body fat. But the best way to get them is by leaning down and still training them. Just keep training your abs, because they will grow, they'll get chunkier, but it's all down to your body fat. Now in this meal I do have 200 grams of basmati rice and 275 grams of turkey. Now that might seem quite a lot to you guys, but it genuinely is when you split it up into 2 meals. And if you think I'm eating too much protein, well, bear in mind I'm prepared for a show. I'm gonna need to have more protein in my diet than carbs. Alright guys, so we've just finished our lunch there, and it was actually quite a nice lunch, surprisingly. I know I have a heavy day today, so that's why I'm having it all together. So the macros, they are all together, but obviously you can just work it out and split it in half, and that's what I would eat before lunch and after lunch. It's a post-workout meal. So in total the calories are 548.5 calories just for that whole meal. 57 grams of carbs, 72 grams of protein, and 3 grams of fat. Now the reason why I have more protein in this meal is mainly because I know that I normally save most of the meat for after my workout, as obviously when you're breaking down muscle, the body's going to need protein to rebuild. So that's why I just keep that little extra bit of protein after my workout. So today's workout is actually in arms and shoulders. We are probably going to bump into Steven, so if Steven's there, we are going to get him, he's going to join us. But I'm not going to record it guys, mainly because obviously we want this to be all the food that I eat in one day and the Q&A. So until then guys, I will see you at the next meal. Alright guys, we just got back from the gym. So the next meal that we obviously have would be the second part of the lunch, which would be our pre-workout meal. But since we don't have that, we are now having our protein shake. Now I don't add anything special into it. I don't do, blueberries and put ice in it. I just put a bit of milk and a bit of protein. Now the protein that I get is Impact Whey Isolate protein from My Protein. I think it's the best one so far that I've tried. It's really nice, it's good quality, and they arrive it really quickly. So I would have 2 scoops of that, and each scoop is about, let's say, 90 calories, so about 180 calories in total in that one protein shake. It's good. So today's gym workout was actually pretty good. I felt very strong with it. I was training with Steven. We were doing shoulders and arms. Now, when I train with Steven, it's completely different. We do stick to our workout programs, but we do tend to go off them a slight bit. We did variations of certain exercises and we just went for it, going heavy, getting the right form, getting the right technique. And I can tell you now, my shoulders, arms and triceps, biceps and triceps are going to be absolutely destroyed tomorrow. So how long have I been going to the gym for? Yeah, so I've been training since, I think it's the 25th or the 26th of October. So this year would make it 3 years. At the moment, we're probably about 2 3/4 of the way through of my training career so far. But, I think we've made the most amount of progress this year. This bulk has definitely made the most amount of progress. Oh, I like this one. If someone took roids, do you think they would gain respect or lose it? I think it's a bit of both, depending on really how you look at it. If this person were to take roids and they were open about it and they were to talk about the side effects and stuff like that, then I can give them respect. But if they were to take steroids and say they were natural, do you know what I mean? Then the respect is not there. It is completely gone. I have no respect for that person whatsoever. If I eat protein yogurts, etc., but I'm still in a calorie deficit, will I gain weight? I mean, if you're in a calorie deficit, you're gonna lose weight in anyway, like, doesn't matter. If you're in a calorie deficit, it's fine. If you're in a calorie surplus, however, you will gain weight. But because you're in a calorie deficit, you're not going to gain weight whatsoever. Even if you're 100 calories below your maintenance, you're still in a deficit. All right, guys, we just finished a protein shake. So that was 180 calories in that. I think about 40 grams of protein, which is pretty good. So the next meal that we're gonna have is our dinner. Now I do have 4 options. I've just removed one, so technically we're on 3 now. So the first 2 meals would be potato based with chicken, and then a salad or vegetables and stuff like that. And then the third meal would be a fish. So I normally go for salmon or cod, either one of those 2. Pretty nice stuff. And the same thing, rice and then vegetables on along with that as well. So we're probably gonna have that in the next maybe hour, 2 hours, something like that. Let the body just relax and regenerate a slight bit. But until then, guys, we're gonna do some work now, and I'll see you in a bit. All right, guys, so it's a bit later in the evening, so we had a bit of an issue. I made the food and I completely forgot to record it. I was so hungry that I just forgot to record it. But we had option 1, which was homemade potato gratins, 200 grams of chicken and 100 grams of carrots and broccoli. So with that meal, it was 742 calories, 35 grams of carbs, 72 grams of protein, and 33 grams of fat. So the total calories for everything that we've eaten today is around 2,400 calories. Now, there are times where we do have a protein bar. If there's days where my weight is going down too quick, I might have a protein bar or maybe a few extra carbs in my lunch or my dinner, but we're averaging around 2,400 calories. And the macros for that would be 135 grams of carbs, 220 grams of protein, and 81 grams of fats. All right, guys, this comes to a close of our video. If you did enjoy the video, hit the like button, and guys, subscribe to the channel as well, as we are putting out more and more videos of the prep series. We are coming up to our 12th week, so we are going to be trying to put out at least 2 videos a week up to the show. Until then, guys, I think we'll see you next time.